Hello, hello. Today we're gonna go over trolls. I've been getting some questions on like how to grind the spot, what's the combo for warrior, what are you supposed to do here? Now there's a few ways that you can go about this in terms of rotation. It's kind of really up to you on which one you want to do. I'll tell you the one that I think is best for warrior is where I'm at currently, and this is the one where I pull like 14k 13k trash, which is right here. It's just across like a little bit to the right of the actual node. So you just come over here and then it's this little like intersection, and then you just go across, and then there's this pack here, and then there's a pack up here, and then there's another pack like somewhere up these mountains. And I'll go through the rotation in a moment, but I want to just talk about the spot for a second. So the tricky thing with this spot is you want to understand the mechanics and how to pull versus how to actually like DPS the mobs, because killing these mobs are not that difficult. Just like most spots, they're not really that insane. But in order to pull good trash and pull like max numbers or just numbers that are adequate to your liking, you're going to need to understand how to clear these mobs effectively and then move on to the next pack as quickly as possible. So I'll show you guys how I do it on warrior, and then I'll like kind of just give general commentary on how to actually like function with this with maybe other classes. Before we do that, let me just talk about buffs really quick. So there's a couple things that you may or may not want to get. And first of all, the build, I'm just doing triple black star, not even triple pen. It's just a tet black star and a tri god-eyed longsword. That's really it. And I'm running pretty much full AP minus the narc earrings. These, if I had distos, I would use distos, which I'm currently possibly thinking about saving for it, but I'm also working on a Debo earring, so not really going to go for distos. But if you have distos would be more beneficial here, unless you don't have enough DP to survive these mobs. But if you have narcs, those are totally fine. It'll just give you some more survivability as well as just some decent damage output. As long as you have like 309 AP or even 305, you'll be okay here. 305 might be pushing it a little low, to be honest, but like 309 plus, you'll be okay. And then for the artifacts, we are running the roar set, which gives us extra damage to demi-humans. If you do not have these at all, you can use behind the shadows or you can use vicious shadows. Both of those will work perfectly fine here, and you'll pull somewhat similar trash numbers. You'll probably pull a little bit less than the roars, but it's still decent if you don't have access to roars, which I'm pretty sure they're sitting on the market at the moment. Let me just double check that really quick, because I'm fairly certain that these dropped in price like heavily a while ago, and I'm not sure they ever recovered. Yeah, like see, so they're like down 2 bill pretty much. These used to be 5 bill a pop, so now they're only 3.2. Still expensive. You need 3 of these and an iridescent, which I'm pretty sure iridescents are also sitting on the market. If you want my advice, invest in the roars. You'll end up paying that back within like 4 or 5 hours of grinding, which is not that big a deal. But like I said, if you don't have access to them and you just want to use vicious shadows or behind the shadows, those are fine too. As far as crystal build goes, this is what I use at trolls. This is just attack speed, back attack damage, and then AP to mobs. You can use corrupteds if your class is based in crit. Warriors based in crit, but I found that I tend to kill the mobs more effectively with mysterious darkness crystals. So I'm not going to say use corrupteds. I just, you can if you don't have these perhaps, but I would recommend doing mysterious darkness. These are far better and honestly kind of mandatory here. And I've also gotten some questions about these Alucas crystals and why I use them. The reason is I just want attack speed. Like, I just want attack speed. I don't personally care too much to inflate any more AP because I don't think I necessarily need it. However, if you're not at a good AP bracket, then you could swap these out for something that'll net you some more AP, or if you need accuracy, which you shouldn't need accuracy anymore, but you could put something in like these RBF battles, which is like all AP plus 5, and then whatever, like you do something like along those lines. You could put whatever you feel is necessary in here. You could even slot in some defensive crystals if you feel like you're taking too much damage here, in case you're missing some DP brackets, but that's like all I would really do. But overall, I value the attack speed more so than anything else, so that's why I use them. Now, for those of you that are warrior players, the combo does not change at all from Gyphins. We're doing the same thing. For other classes, you know, I can't really, obviously I can't tell you every single thing. You kind of have to do your own research on your class, but for warriors, the buff is the same. You're just doing merciless, you're doing solar flare, balance, hilt strike, heaven's cleave, then you're going into frenzies, and then you're going into grave dig, slashing, overwhelm, block, cancel, armor break, and then you're going to do reckless, ankle break, pulverized tempest, ground smash, and there you go. That's the combo. Okay, I think I've gone over mostly everything. The last thing, let's talk about buffs. There's two things that you can do. Okay, so preferably I would suggest you practice with a giant drought first. I think that's going to help you the most. Do not use a frenzied. Don't use any of the, don't use frenzies. These are probably going to kill you more than anything else. This drought, let me move myself over here for a second. There we go. So this drought gives you some extra damage to demi-humans plus 15. It gives you accuracy, some damage reduction, some evasion, HP, stamina, and then a bunch of other stuff here, which helps to a degree. But my issue with this is the price point. So until these like drop to such a low cost, like we're talking under 10 mil, which I'm not even sure that's possible that they're ever going to get down that way. You're going to need 4 of these per hour, assuming you don't die. So right now they're about 30 mil a pop. So let's see here. There's 220 on the market. Most of them are tanking pretty low down the totem pole here. They're probably going to go lower to 20 mil, but these are really not profitable. Move myself back over here. So yeah, these are not profitable to craft at all, and that's why like most alchemy's kind of dead realistically on console. I don't know about PC, but console alchemy's really dead. And for the most part, these if you have access to these and like you're crafting them yourself and you're making them yourself, by all means, because then you're not really losing profit. But if you're buying these by the bulk and you're just trying to utilize these at this spot, I would recommend you not do that, because again, you're losing profit. So let's say you buy them for 25 mil a pop and you need 4 an hour, right? So let's just do the math real quick. So 25 and then you do times 4, you're spending 100 mil in these demi-human droughts, right? And then if you're factoring in a perfume, like a perfume of courage, for example, or maybe you're doing a deep sea elixir, you have to factor in those prices too. So let's just do elixirs. So with deep seas, I think deep seas is probably like the popular one that people use. I prefer perfumes of courage. I don't know why I just do. I've been doing that for so long. But deep sea elixirs are 30 mil a pop. So now we have to factor in 3 of these. So 30 mil, and then we do that times 3 since they last for 20 minutes. So times 3, that puts us at 90 mil. So essentially you're spending 190 mil in just elixirs, or not elixirs, but like your buff rotation for the demi-human droughts and the deep sea elixir. And if you're not pulling trash, that is going to offset that cost, which for just a giant drought, I pull like 14k and 13k, like around those numbers. So I'm just, unless you're pulling significantly more than that, like you're going upwards of 15 to 16k and so on, then that's like okay, like that's fine. But if you're pulling less than that, you're essentially like putting yourself in the hole. It's not profitable. So I rarely grind with any of this. I did try the demi-human droughts just because I wanted to see if it did increase the trash loot per hour. I honest to God did not see a difference at all. Like I even used an Agris coin, and with just a giant drought and a perfume of courage, I pulled 16.1 with an Agris coin. And then I use a demi-human drought and a deep sea. I also pulled 16.1. So I don't know. I'm not pulling more to adjust for the cost, you know? So I wouldn't recommend doing that unless you are pulling significantly more than what the average person is pulling, because then you're just putting yourself in the hole and you're just kind of burning money. So I wouldn't recommend doing that. And anyway, I would recommend you practice with giants droughts anyway. I think that's going to help you the most. So you just use a regular giants and then just practice with this. And if you want to get a little sweaty, you could buy some perfumes of courage and just, utilize the AP here, which is like AP plus 20 and so on. Deep seas are probably better. If you have a guild that node wars regularly and you don't actually have to invest in deep seas and you can just, get them regularly through the guild, then that's okay too. But even then, I would rather just sell the deep seas because they're worth a lot more than that. So yeah, I mean, it's kind of up to you how you want to go about it, but I wouldn't really use it. So for the sake of example, we're going to go ahead and just use a one-time giants here. So we'll just pop that. And then I'll show you guys how to do this rotation. So let me just get these up real quick. Okay. So this is the rotation. And before we get started, let me walk you through it. So you start here at this mob, and then you kill, you do your business here. Then you walk up over here and you do this mob. And then if you have the buff, you're going to extend up this mountain. And then there's another pack right here and you're going to do these mobs. Okay. And that's the rotation that I prefer to do. I do this on pretty much every single class that I play. I think the only exception is like striker. I'll do a different rotation. If you guys don't like this rotation, or you don't feel comfortable, or maybe your class isn't mobile enough, I'll show you guys another location really quick. So we'll hop on the horse real quick and we'll go over to the left here. And this way there is a little section here where these kind of like barricades are. And this one is, I think, what most people call main rotation. I think, I'm fairly certain, but I could be wrong. Don't quote me on it. But this is the other rotation that I liked because the travel time between the two mobs are very, very, very short. So you kill that one, then you just rotate down here, kill that one. You just keep doing back and forth, right? That's what you're doing. And the extension, I believe the extension, there's like a couple different ways you can extend here. So the main one that people extend to that I've seen is they go up here to this one, and I don't like this extension. This is why I don't like to do this spot, because this extension sucks. And you have to pull the mobs here, and then they all go up here to this shaman, and they don't really stack appropriately. They kind of suck when they're stacking here, so I don't really like this spot. So what I'll do, I think Steve's the one that told me that, or he found the other extension that makes more sense, which I think is like over here somewhere. I'm trying to remember. It's like, is it like here? Yeah, this extension right here, where you just kill the mobs here, and then the shaman is right there, and then the mobs will just pull to here. So that one's okay. So like you could extend to this if you really want to, which is, it's a little bit out of the way, and you kind of have to like get the buff. So it's like after you kill this mob, then you come here, and then you just go out to this side, and then you just right here start the mobs and do your business here, get the extension, and then back to it, you know, and then just kind of circle around. You can either go this way, or you can just like travel through here and then swing around up to this pack right here, and then just restart the rotation. So 1, 2, 3, or you do 1, 2, and then 3 up here if you want to go this way instead. This is the other rotation, so it's up to you if you prefer to do it this way. I'm just not a fan of this rotation either. For warrior, I just don't like it. And then the other rotation that I've done that I thought was okay was the cave rotation, which is back down this way over here somewhere. Where I think I flew over. Whoops, yeah, it's up here. Yeah, over here. So there's a couple spots in here. This one's also a popular one. So if you want to do these spots, it's okay. So this one, you do this pack right here, and then you rotate over here, and then you do this pack. And I think if you have I'm trying to remember where the extension is, because I haven't done this one in a while. I think the extension is like, what is it, over here? I think it's out here. Yeah, I think you just do this. You just do those two in there, and then you do this pack here, and then the shaman is up here, so it's not too bad. And then you just rotate back in, and then you swing around, and there you go. That's all you got to do. So it's just 1, 2, and then outside on the road over there, and you can do that pack as well. So those are the rotations that I recommend. You don't, like I said, you don't necessarily have to do any of these, particularly if you have your own rotation that you guys enjoy. Like maybe you have one that's way up there in the middle of nowhere, you do that too. Whatever's comfortable. Really, as long as you have a 3-pack extension, you're okay. That's all you need to really have. So as long as the rotation fits your class and you have a way to get to that rotation quickly and effectively and not have too much downtime, you're okay. So I'm going to go back to my rotation here, and we'll start the rotation. So here we go. So we're going to start with the pulls. Okay. So I'm going to go in here, and what I do as a warrior. Okay. So what I do as a warrior is I will buff here, stand in the middle, do reckless, ankle break, grave digging, slashing, pulverize, tempest. And usually it hits all the mobs. As you can see, the mobs are pretty low for the most part. And that's just all you want to do, is try and hit back attacks on all of the mobs, and then it'll just kind of like, you know, shred them quickly. And then here, this is the complicated part. People tend to blow their entire kit on this boss, or on the boss like Awakening. Don't do that. It's the same as Gyfins. You got to wait for them to wake up. And then once he wakes up, then you want to go ahead and drop the damage real quick. And then you'll see he just gets deleted, and there you go. And then now for the shaman, do not engage the shaman immediately. You wait 2 seconds, and then you see the mob running towards me. Then you go attack the shaman, and then you turn around, wait, and then you'll see how they walk kind of in a single file line towards me. That's what you want. You want them to stack up on the purple buff, just because it's going to make it a lot easier for you to AoE the mobs down. And then you just go through the backside here, and then just kind of DPS them down like so. And then there you go. All the big mobs are dead. Big Troll's kind of bugging out. He does this from time to time, so if he does this to you, don't like get like, see, he's doing a bunch of freak shit. I don't know what he's doing. Sometimes the mob does this. I don't know why he does that, but yeah. And there you go. Super simple, super easy. Now we rotate over here, and then we go to this pack and then pull them, and then same thing. We're gonna just try and AoE the mobs real quick, and then just do as much damage as we can. And here we go. And then we're just kind of slowly clearing the mobs here. Boom, boom, boom. All right, there we go. Mobs are down. Same thing. We're gonna go ahead and just do the first half of our rotation up to frenzied strikes, and then we're gonna ground smash, block, or not block, cancel, deep thrust cancel, and then we go into ground roar. And then now the mob's fully awakened. Now we do the full combo, and then we just go behind. Boom, boom, boom. Mob's dead. All right, and then we can kind of like ready the mob a little bit here, and then you'll see on the left, see they start walking towards me. Now we go over here, and then we kill this mob. Boom, dead. And then we wait. And you see how they're walking single file line? Super simple, super easy. And then same thing, we do our combo. And then for this one, I'm gonna pop my E buff right now, so that way it's gonna linger a little bit to the next pack. So we're gonna go ahead, boom, hit this, and then the mob should die here after this little rotation. And frenzied strikes, dead. And you see we still have about 15 seconds of our E buff. So now we can utilize our E buff here, and then we can go ahead and hit this. And then look at that. We're still utilizing our E buff. We got 5 seconds, killing these mobs ASAP. And then we're going to kill this guy. Boom, easy. Same thing. We're just going to go back to kind of casually DPSing the boss. Keep it simple. Don't use your full rotation. Ground smash, deep thrust, ground roars, swap back, and then just do the same thing as always. All right, he's fully awoken. We're gonna use slashing, and you see we just slashing the mob down to the dirt, and then we're good. That's simple, super easy. Wait for the mobs again. Little shaman dead. Mobs are walking single file line to me, and there you go. That's simple. That's simple. It doesn't have to be complicated. You don't got to do anything crazy. You just have to know and manage your cooldowns accordingly, so you don't blow everything immediately. That's the biggest thing that most people will do wrong, is they use all their cooldowns before the boss is awakening, and then when the boss is fully awakened, they have no abilities, and then they end up just like having to wait around for cooldowns. Now, in terms of like how much AP would you say that you need for this spot? I would argue you probably don't need insane AP. I'll just put on my Kadri just for the sake of having it on. So that way I lose a little bit of crit. So we're at 293 AP, and I'll just go ahead and show you guys the rotation here. You will notice a damage drop off for sure. It is 100% like entirely based in you do need AP for this spot, but as you can see, it's not that bad. It's really not that bad. If you have like 290 something AP, it's not the worst thing in the world. You will pull way less trash, and by way less I mean you'll pull a significant chunk less, but it's not so much to where I would say you can't do the spot. But you know, it's like I said, it's not the worst thing in the world. So even at 293 AP, you'll see I'm clearing the mob like relatively quickly. This is, yeah, like that's nothing crazy. I mean, we're still at 293. It's pretty easy. It's not that bad. So I know some people like to say that you need like 301 AP or you need like 303 whatever plus. That's to like be super efficient, min-max, kind of, you know, whatever you want to call it. I wouldn't even say me at 313 AP is min-maxing. I'm not very good at min-maxing spots. I'm actually like totally shit at min-maxing. But 293, if you have around this AP pool, you will be more than fine at this spot, and it's not gonna kill you, right? Like you'll be okay. Some classes got it better than others. I'd say that if you're a warrior and you're sitting around 293 AP, you can definitely do this spot, but your DP is going to be highly important. You can't just come here and just start, you know, wailing on the mobs and then you have like 340 DP. You're going to get one shot here because these mobs do fucking hurt. But if you're a PvE iframe spammer, then you might be able to make it work. But again, that's going to be up to you to test that out. But hopefully this video helps you out to a degree. If you guys have any questions, please drop them down below and I will answer them to the best of my knowledge. But yeah, that was Trolls, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.